Hello. I want to talk about a concept, willingness, which is simply just our desire to be involved, to be happy to do something if it's needed, to not be opposed to do something, to be enthusiastically undertaking something, and also to be ready to do something. But what would be something that would, or things that would oppose your willingness to do something in a situation, especially when we're talking about our dogs, when we're considering our dogs, and how we'd like them to live in harmony with us? Well, some reasons that would make you opposed to being willing to do that for your dog is your expectations of your dog, what you expect them to do, your judgment for your dog when they're not responding to you in a way that you'd like them to, the things that you want your dog to do, not from their perspective, but what you think should be happening in the situation, how you expect or think your dog should act in an acceptable way in a situation, despite dogs not understanding or having the level of intelligence to understand how to behave in an appropriate way according to human social etiquette. On the other side of that, let's talk about your dog's willingness. Now, our dogs are willing to jump up at a moment's notice. They see us walking over to get the leash. They're ready to jump up and go for a walk with us. They're enthusiastic. They're willing. They're ready to participate, to be involved. Now, if we walked over to get the leash and our dog didn't jump up, then what would we do? Would we judge our dog for that? Would we blame our dog for not wanting to walk when we want them to go for a walk, to live on our schedule, on our timetable? Do we take into consideration that there is an extremely valid reason for our dog not wanting to go for a walk at that time? And that brings us on to our willingness to understand and put our dog's behaviour into context for that situation. And it's very interesting because when we consider our dog's willingness and we expect them to be willing to comply, to obey, we expect our dogs to do that, but quite often we expect them to be willing, but quite often our dogs aren't willing. They're forced to comply. They're not provided with the opportunity to choose whether or not they want to be involved or participate. And they also don't get the time to learn or understand, yet let alone respond in the way that we'd like them to. So if you're not willing to be involved, enthusiastic, ready to participate, and be open to doing something that's needed in that situation, in that context, then you'll always see your dog's behaviour as a problem. And you'll see these problems as not being able to be solved. But if you are willing, then you'll be able to see answers to your dog's behaviour and why your dog's performing a certain behaviour in a certain situation at a certain time. So I want to ask you, if right now you could choose whether you could see all the answers and be able to find solutions when your dog's performing behaviour that you don't like seeing, would you choose to be able to see those answers, or would you choose to continue to create problems and see problems? And I'd also want to ask you, if you had the choice and the ability right now to be continually frustrated, resentful, angry with your dog about their behaviour, or reconnected with your dog, what would you choose? It's so very easy to reconnect with our dogs and see the answers. And it's as simple as your willingness to simply shift your mindset and your intention to being a guardian for your dog. We'll talk again soon.